Hello, my name is Elizabeth Foltz. Have you ever considered the impact that Disney movies can have on young, impressionable children? I'm going to suggest it's not quite the fairy tale you'd think. And my name is Elizabeth Foltz. So this presentation will discuss an overview of the article, A Tale as Old as Time, an analysis of negative stereotypes in Disney princess movies. I will also talk about how it relates to social studies education. I will also talk about what key points I agreed and disagreed with. My overview of the article will focus on how Disney movies can create poor images of girls and poorly represent different cultures. How princesses are shown versus princes. In the movies, we often see princesses as strong heroes saving the day. Hero music, anyone? No? Princesses, on the other hand, are seen crying, hoping to be rescued. For example, this image shows Snow White being saved, literally, by getting a kiss from a prince. See any metaphors here, Disney? This can create a negative image for both boys and girls, of girls and women. Still not convinced? Let's look at how princesses spend their time in the movies. As you can see here, the largest percentage of how princesses spend their time in the movies is by interacting with animals at 29%, followed up by 24% singing and 13% dancing. Princesses spend very little time working, as seen here, or doing productive things. I think this teaches girls that things like work aren't valued. And this also teaches boys that this is how girls behave. Male traits over time. So traits such as being strong, being a hero, and having goals for work, rather than just getting married, were referred to as male traits in this article. In this article, studying this revealed that princesses are slowly gaining some of these positive traits, but it's not consistent. As you can see, very little male traits, quote, male traits, were shown in 1937, but that slowly rose. We had a major spike in 1998, but as you can see, it hasn't been entirely consistent. However, you can certainly see that there's some improvements that have been made from 1937 to 2010. So here, we've got some quotes. And this is because we are going to play the sexist quote game. See if you can guess which quotes these movies come from. I'll give you a moment to look over them now. Let's look at the first one. It's about time you got your head out of those books and started paying attention to more important things, like me. The whole town's talking about it. It's not right for a woman to read. Soon she'll get ideas and start thinking. If you guessed Gaston de Belle in Beauty and the Beast, you're right. Let's look at the next one. A male mouse says, "We can help," but a female mouse responds by saying, "Leave the sewing to the women." If you guessed that this is from Cinderella, when the animals are helping create Cinderella's new dress, you're right. Let's look at one more. Blank assures blank that you'll have your looks, your pretty face, And don't underestimate the power of body language. If you guessed that this was The Little Mermaid, then you are right. This was Ursula explaining to Ariel in The Little Mermaid why she should give up her voice to have a man. I mean legs. So there are many more examples, but that's enough. Disney movies also give culture a poor perception. Alright, so enough about gender. But have you ever noticed that most Disney princesses are white? But what about movies like Aladdin or Princess and the Frog? Surely those get a better rap, right? Wrong. When different cultures are represented, the histories of the culture is misrepresented. Aladdin takes place in Middle Eastern, where a song sings the following lyrics about his culture, where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. In Princess and the Frog, issues such as segregation aren't addressed on the bus or in the diner, and these issues would be definitely present during the time period in the movie. And the African American woman that is the main character is also usually seen serving others by cooking and being nurturing, which you could argue is a stereotype as well. Alright, so Disney might be giving some bad messages, but so what? Why do I care as a teacher? Well, I can approach this misrepresentation of gender and cultures different ways. I can ignore it and hope it's not mentioned in class, or I can use it to teach. I can use quotes and clips as an engaging way to discuss cultures and gender. Plus, since these aspects are in many current clips, it relates to the present, which makes it more engaging to students. So what do I agree and disagree with about this article? I agree Disney movies give a bad impression of gender and cultures. I disagree that princesses interacting with animals makes women look weak. I think this is just part of the fantasy aspect. I agree women do not spend enough time in these movies pursuing personal goals. I disagree with the over-reliance on Disney. I think many other children's movies stereotype as well. Lastly, I agree that Disney needs to create movies that are less stereotypical. In conclusion, educators must teach children that they can be much more than just a princess. Social studies teachers must educate students about the true identity of cultures and expect some bias due to the movies. Disney movies should not be banned because children do love them. However, clips can be used to help children notice the biased perceptions that still exist in societies today. Thank you very much for listening. That's about it. The last thing is it's just my work cited for this article. And thanks again for watching. Have a great rest of your day.